Hello everyone, it is Teacher Marianne here from HelloTeacherMarianne.com, and on this channel you'll find videos all about helping you earn an income from home by teaching online, where you'll learn valuable tips, insight, and need-to-know information. I get questions all the time about my ongoing class at Outschool. How did you get so many parent followers? How do you get so many students every week? When do you schedule? What do you charge? Just lots and lots of questions. And so I thought, go ahead and do a video and answer these questions for everyone. First, please go ahead and hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give me a like if you find this video helpful. Also, check out the description box for the link to my Outschool freebie below. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Currently, I only have one ongoing class. I have actually stopped teaching every other one-time class, and I just do this ongoing class because I get so many learners in this one class. I teach the same class 15 times a week. If you haven't watched my video titled My Outschool Mistake and how it led to lots of learners, watch that and you'll understand what even led me to start ongoing classes in the first place. The first question I get about ongoing classes a lot, and mainly it's just emails saying, does this look like a good ongoing class? Does this look like a good ongoing class? I just have to say, ongoing classes should not build upon each other. Now, again, I always try to reference Outschool's website because that's where I get a ton of information. I use my own experience and the experience of others that I'm helping. Outschool has an amazing and very user-friendly website. You can find answers about just about anything there. But I know that it's so helpful to watch someone else's experience and, be able to learn from someone else's experience and be able to talk to someone else who's gone through it. So I am so happy to help out and answer these questions. I think the main thing that I see when I do get emails about, does this look like a good ongoing class? I think the main issue that I see is a lot of those classes that people are asking me about, and I'm not an expert, but a lot of those classes build upon one another. In other words, you have to have attended one or two of the previous classes for maybe the third class to make sense. And I think the big takeaway, you just always have to ask yourself, is every single class a standalone class? Could I take any class and make it a one-time class, and would that make sense? You just have to really be careful that your classes do not build upon each other. You don't review material from other classes. Now, of course, if you've got students from week to week, refer back to things if you've taught them before, but in every ongoing class I have, almost every class, I have one new student every time. So I need for that one student to be able to come on board and be just as in the know about the class as every other student. If every other student has been with me for 7 weeks and that one student just popped in that day, I need that one student not to feel like he's missed a thing. He's gonna know exactly what's going on, just like everyone else. Now, if you have really great content to teach, but it's needs to build off of one another, maybe you are building a skill set and you're slowly adding in more complexity. You have to learn point A to get to point B, and you need to take point B with you to point C, that sort of thing. Then there are course options for that. I totally understand why a lot of teachers want to do the ongoing class route, because the ongoing classes are a lot more affordable for parents on a weekly basis, and then you just they tend, at least it's been my experience, that the ongoing classes tend to do really well. So if you do have really great content and you don't want to make it a semester course, then you just have to think about how to make each class meeting in that ongoing class be a standalone class. I think you can do this with so many areas, with so many different topics. You just have to really think it through. I have a ongoing phonics class, and that phonics class does very well. I think it's got over 800 parent followers at this time, and it started in June, and we are in September, mid-September now. So it's got quite a few followers. I typically get 80 to 90 students a week. Now, before September hit, I was getting about 120 students a week. I stopped some ongoing classes and started them up again in August, so it's taken a little bit of time to build, but they built back up fairly quickly, and it seems like I'm staying for the last 2 or 3 weeks around 80 to 90 students a week. But in this ongoing phonics class, I can't build skills. I literally teach this exact same format, same skill, different content. I teach CVC words, and I've just added a follow-up, a part 2 to that. And one moment. I teach CVC words, and so every week is a different CVC word. So it's different content, different blends, same exact format, same exact teaching style, same exact lesson, honestly, just different content, just a different blend. Kids are able to just practice their sounding out with CVC words in this ongoing class. And I've just created a follow-up to this class called CVC and Silent E. So we're taking a step further for all those learners that have completed my first one. I now have another ongoing class they can jump into that's a little bit more advanced. Okay, so my next question, how long did it take you to get booked? And I would just say I really just feel like I was super blessed in that I created, I came in at Outschool when they were really hiring very quickly. My one-time classes were not getting booked a lot, a learner here, a learner there, a few here, a few there. And so I just thought, while I'm waiting, I know I can teach phonics and reading, and that has been my area of expertise for so many years in just other formats. So I just really thought, let me try my hand. And honestly, that ongoing class, it got lots of learners. Like I said, it was June 1st. I think the first week in June was the first time I ran that ongoing class, and I just did it for 4 weeks. And I quickly realized I need more content. I need to keep this going. I think in the beginning, maybe it took a couple of weeks to get about 40 learners in the class, and then it jumped to maybe 75, and then over 100, and then it stayed at 120 for 2 or 3 weeks. But I had to cancel 30 classes in the month of July for just some personal things. And so I really started back in August building it back up. It's mid-September, so I've been running it again for a month and a half, and I'm running 80 to 90 learners pretty consistently from week to week. So it didn't take long. I think that what I did do, and I've said this in a couple of other videos, by the way, if you want a breakdown of what my class looks like, I do have a video on that. I show you all of the different slides that I use. I have thought about doing a video of me teaching my class to my 5-year-old so that you can actually see what my class looks like, because so many are just curious about what an ongoing phonics class would look like. So I might do that video as well. Maybe if you are watching this and you would like to see that video, let me know in the comments. I know people are experimenting with different times and so forth like that since students have gone back to school. I haven't switched my times yet, and that actually leads me to my next question. What times do you schedule your classes? And I teach in Central Standard Time from 9:30 to 12:35, 3 days a week. I started that schedule in June, and I've kept it. I haven't really changed it. I've tweaked it. I started out just teaching like 3 sections 3 times a week, and now I teach 5 sections 3 times a week, so 15 sections a week of that class. And I have just recently added, because I have gotten a lot of parent emails saying, we hate to leave the class, but so-and-so's going back to school. I've gotten a lot of requests for the weekends and the afternoons, so I've actually added 2 Friday afternoon classes to see how well that does. I just teach, because of the age group that I teach, the 4 to 7-year-olds, a lot of those are home anyway. They haven't started kindergarten yet, so I think that definitely helps me in teaching that time frame. I also get questions about, how do you fit 5 sections into, 3 hours basically, and my classes are 25-minute classes. I definitely recommend leaving 15 minutes between each class. There's going to be one class where I only have 10 minutes. I find that I definitely need that 15 minutes between my classes. So my classes are only 25 minutes. Again, it's because of the age group. When we have no downtime in my beginning reading class. We work from the moment our class time starts, and I'm a stickler. I start immediately, right on time. If there's one in class, I start right on time. I do not wait for all the others to show up. And that also sets an expectation that we've got to be in class on time because she starts right away. My kids know at the end of class, I will give them a minute or two to share anything they want to share with me, or just to talk. That works well. But during the class time, the lesson, we don't have downtime. So we can get away with 25-minute classes. Really, when you're working with that age group, you can't push them much longer than 25 minutes at a time. It's just not effective. Even if I feel good about saying we're going to work hard for 25 minutes, and then even if we go a little over, a few minutes over at the end, it's totally fine because I know we've worked hard for 25 minutes. So I get a lot of questions/comments. So you mean you teach 15 of the exact same class every week? And the answer is yes. I teach the exact same lesson 15 times a week, and then the next week we all move to the next lesson. Okay, the next question, when do you get paid for ongoing classes? And the short answer is after you've been teaching a couple of weeks, you'll start getting paid weekly every Sunday. The first time it takes a little longer, almost 2 weeks. For me, I think it took 13 days, and their website will actually say it could take 6 to 13 days depending on when your class was. After that first couple of weeks, you start getting paid every Sunday if you teach every week. Next question, how do you stop an ongoing class? And the easy answer is you just don't schedule any more classes. That's it. You just don't schedule any more classes. After you've got all of your class meetings on the schedule, and you just don't schedule anymore. But what you need to keep in mind is that Outschool will not send parents like any kind of warning or any kind of email like, hey, heads up, this ongoing class you're in is about to end. And it makes sense that they wouldn't do that because Outschool has no idea if you're going to schedule more meetings last minute or not. So it's totally up to you to communicate with your parents. And I always communicate with my parents, starting with like the third week from the end. I'll say, okay, we've got 2 more weeks left, and then on this date, this class is going to start the content over. Now, you can communicate to parents via the classroom. You can also send them individual messages in the Learners tab. If you're ending the class altogether, then it's a good idea to let them know if you've got another class that they can jump into, either a follow-up class like a part 2 or a more advanced, or if you've got other sections of that class that they're in now, maybe they jumped in middle of the way, and they didn't finish all of the content, they didn't get to go through all of that content cycle, then it's a good idea to let them know, hey, I also have these times scheduled for this class. But if you are ending an ongoing class and you're going to start material over, for instance, if you create 9 weeks worth of content and at week 9 you don't want to end the ongoing class, you just want to start the content over again at where you were at week 1, then just let parents know in the classroom we're going to start over with the at words on this week, and go ahead and give them a general idea the order that you will do things in, because a lot of parents will want to know, is it worth me staying in and going through this class again, Or do I need to go ahead and jump out because I've already been in the class, 4 or 5 weeks? But if you let them know kind of the order of the content, I don't put dates on, you don't want to, put the first class is this, the second class is this, the third class is this, because that gives an impression that you're building information. And I also steer clear of dates. I put an order or a sequence of things. We're going to do the word families in this sequence. And that way they know what classes they've already taken and what classes they would still benefit from sticking around and staying in that class. Okay, and I guess just a little bit more on that. Say you created 9 weeks worth of content for an ongoing class, and then you are asking yourself, well, why wouldn't I just end that class and then just start a new one? And of course you can, that's an option, or you can just keep creating new content. That's also an option. The reason that I found that I don't want to just stop my ongoing class is because I learned that when I stopped my previous ongoing classes, it took a good 3-4 weeks to see a large number of consistent enrollees again. If I'm sitting at 80 to 90 students per week, I don't want to start it over. I want to keep it going because I don't want to start over from square one trying to get enrollees in my new ongoing class or my new section of that class. By keeping it going and just communicating with parents, we are about to cycle through the content again. Here's the order of the words we're going to do. And just communicating with the parents and letting them know, because there are students who have been with me the entire time, and I don't want to just start the cycle over again without giving them a heads up. And I don't want their learners to be in class and say, we've already done these words. Why are we doing this lesson again? I've already done this lesson. I wouldn't do that to the parents either. I just think that the more you can communicate with your parents about what to expect in your ongoing class, the better off you are. Parents appreciate communication. Okay, on the topic of communication, I get a lot of questions. How do you get worksheets to parents? And the easiest way is that when you create your ongoing class, go ahead and upload any worksheets they will need. When you create a class, you can do that under, I think it's called For Enrolled Learners. There's a welcome message that you can tweak for learners that enroll in your class. And then with that, you can upload files, whatever worksheets you're going to want them to have. I would just rather not have to email parents worksheets every time a new parent enrolls. Now, however, I do have to do that because what I learned the hard way after I had already created my class and it got approved, and I think I had already run a couple of sections, I was thinking, wow, I really should have uploaded all of these worksheets when I was creating this class. This is a lot of work sending out these worksheets every week. So I uploaded them. I went to edit. I went to manage this class, edit the class, uploaded all 9 worksheets for, tweaked my welcome message. But what was happening is parents still were not getting the worksheets. I was still having to send individually. I was getting messages, hey, when are we going to get the worksheet for class? And so I went back and forth with Outschool in the chat box for a couple of days, and they just kind of said it was a glitch. So if you go back and add files to an existing class for your enrolled learners, that may or may not work. It seems like some of my parents get those worksheets and some of them do not. So go ahead and upload your files. That would be my suggestion, your worksheets as you're creating your class under the For Enrolled Learners section. And then in the classroom from week to week, you can let them know which worksheet they're going to need. You can let them know the order of things in that welcome message. I do know that there are some teachers that don't like to upload all of their content, their worksheets at once. They like to do it week to week, and that's so that parents don't enroll. They get all the worksheets that they can do at home with their learner that you created, and then they unenroll. And so I just don't mind so much. I just think I would just rather convenience of them having everything as soon as they enroll in my class, whether they stay 1 week or 9 weeks, but that's just me. What I do, because there's a worksheet glitch in my class, as soon as I'm finished with my VIPKid classes in the morning, I go to my classes for that day for Outschool, and I go to the Learners tab, and I make sure that if there are any new learners in there, just send them the worksheets for the remainder of the class. I'll just send them a little welcome message. Welcome to class. I'm excited to meet so-and-so. I'm attaching a few optional worksheets. Today we will do the at words or whatever. And that way they have worksheets for the next few weeks for, the remainder of that cycle. Don't have memorized or written down the learners, who is new and who is not. So the way I know if I have new learners in my classroom is I click on each learner, and if I've already sent worksheets, I know that they're not a new learner. If I click on a learner, and now for the most part, because I do have a lot of consistency, I will recognize the new names. If I have a learner though that has nothing, there's no message from me, I click on that learner's name and there's nothing in the tab. I've not sent any worksheets, there's no welcome to class, there's nothing, then I know that that is a brand new learner and they don't have any of the worksheets, or they might not. They may have gotten them, but they may not have. So I go ahead and send them anyway for good measure. So I do that in the early mornings. And then there are a lot of enrollees that will come on just a few minutes before class or even at class time. And so I try to also 4 or 5 minutes before class time, upload that day's worksheet in the classroom. I just say, hello everyone, so excited to see you all in a few minutes. Just a reminder, this is the worksheet we'll be doing today in class. And I just put it there. And that way, if there are any last minute enrollees and they want to print off the worksheet real quick, they can. Anyway, that's how I do worksheets. I am very hopeful that for this new ongoing class that I am starting, that everyone will get all of the worksheets. I do feel like it was just on me. It's because I added all those worksheets after my class was up and running. The welcome message that's for enrolled learners, I just thought I would just kind of give you my little blurb. And my welcome message, because I said that I don't necessarily attach dates because I like to recycle the content, and so the dates will not always match up. So my welcome message is simply something like, welcome, I am uploading all worksheets for this class. Please check the classroom for messages from me weekly to know which worksheet we will be using from week to week. Generally, it will follow this order. And then I just list the order: at, op, app, un, et, og, am, ig. So that means that no matter what point of the class they jump into class, they'll get that welcome message and they will know the order. They can still follow the order of the class regardless of what date that they hopped in. Okay. I've got 3 more questions. The next one is, how do you handle no-shows? Do you refund? Do you transfer, etc.? And here's my take on it. I'm always trying to accommodate parents and provide really good customer service. That being said, if someone misses my class, I don't do anything unless they reach out to me. If I get an email that says, I'm so sorry so-and-so missed the class, and that's it, it's just kind of one of those emails, I'll just send back, no problem, the recording is in the classroom, so just whenever it's convenient for you, you can play it for so-and-so, and I hope they enjoy doing the worksheet along with us, that sort of thing. Now, if it's something on me, my internet was glitchy and it really interrupted the class, for some reason it was an issue on my end, I would completely refund without even a conversation. I would automatically refund everyone in that class and, just send an email. I am so sorry my internet was crazy. Please accept this refund. I hope you'll try this class again, that sort of thing. But if parents don't request a refund, I don't offer it typically, just because it's, when I sign my daughter up for something, I know that it's on me to get her there. If I miss it, I typically don't get my money back. But however, if someone asks me for a refund, I absolutely work with them. A lot of times parents will just ask me, hey, we have to miss this one. Can you transfer so-and-so into another section so they can still get a live class? And absolutely, I always try to accommodate transfers as well. How far out do I schedule my ongoing classes? So I schedule mine 9 weeks out because I originally started with 9 weeks worth of content. The other class that I've already mentioned, that follow-up, it's like a part 2, I've scheduled that one 4 weeks out just because that's the content that I have created at this point. You can keep adding meetings. If you create new content, you can just keep adding class meetings. If you want to skip a week, you can just not schedule that week. If you want to take off for holidays or you're going on vacation or whatever, you just take that, just don't schedule meetings for that week. Your ongoing class will still run. There just won't be any classes for that week. I do get the question, when you're in an ongoing section, do you meet the same time, same day, same time? And I do. I know some ongoing classes meet more than once a week. I only meet once a week, and even if I met twice a week, I would keep it, yes, those same 2 days, same time every single week. I think that just makes it easy for parents to work their schedule around. So how far in advance do you get your classes on the schedule? How far in advance do you put them up on your Outschool website? And I put them up just as soon as I get them. So I have a class, I have a couple of sections that aren't starting for 3 or 4 weeks, but they've been on the schedule for a couple of weeks. However many followers you have, that means that people that have pressed the little heart on your profile, those people will get emails about your new sections and new classes that you have. And so the farther out in advance that I can start that advertising, I mean, it's just, that's my own reasoning, but I feel like the more advertising I can get for upcoming classes, the better. And so I have those on the schedule now, even though they don't start for 3 or 4 weeks. So they will have been on the schedule 6 weeks before they actually start. And then also it gives Outschool more time to advertise those classes on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else they advertise. I say put them on the schedule as far in advance as possible. How do you charge for ongoing classes? So ongoing classes are a subscription that parents pay. They pay every Sunday for that week's upcoming classes. You charge a weekly rate. So if your class meets once a week and you want to charge $10 every week, then that's what you put in your price point, $10, because it's per week. If you are meeting twice a week and you want to charge $15 for both classes combined, so that would be $7.50 per class, then you would put $15 in your price point. Just a couple more things, just real quick, to know about ongoing classes. And the first is that students must be enrolled for 3 consecutive weeks in an ongoing class before parents are asked to leave a review, before they have the option to leave a review, or if they withdraw. Like, they can take one class and then withdraw or unsubscribe, and then they can leave a review that way. And also, your ongoing class, each class, no matter how many class meetings you schedule, so one section of that class, let's say my Monday 9:30 section, even though that is going to meet like for 18 weeks now, I've got 18 weeks of that one class going. If I stop it at 18 weeks, then it's still going to only count as one class. And so that's kind of a little tough to swallow, because in your little class total under your profile, it looks like you haven't taught very many classes. And really, I teach 15 classes a week, but none of them will show up for weeks, months maybe, and they'll only show up as 15 classes. That when I do stop all these ongoing classes, it will only give me an additional 15 classes, even though I will have taught 15 classes for 18 or so weeks. So anyway, that is just, so it's just gonna look that way. That just is the way it is. And that's totally fine. But that is why it's going to look like you're not teaching as much as you're teaching if you teach ongoing classes. Okay? All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. Remember, you can do it. It might change your life. Outschool is changing my life. I'm not even kidding you. I'm so grateful for online teaching, and I am your biggest cheerleader. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.